minutes while I wait for a few more to join. Let's see if I can. I'm trying a whole bunch of different things today to see if I can get all of my platforms up and running. Um, so just bear with me for a few minutes as we wait for a few more to get started. I believe everything is a go. Yes, it is. Let's see. Is this on? No, I don't wanna do that. Let's see. Oh, right here. No, right here. Yes, there we go. I think we're here. I think we're here. Let's see if we're connected. Okay. Hello. Yay. I think we are good to go. I am super excited about this Thriving Thursday. I think I'm excited about every Thriving Thursday, but this one is one that's dear to my heart, and I am trying something new. So I have on all my platforms, I'm performing. I feel like I'm in a mini studio here, but each week I strive to get better and to do more. And so we will see how this week goes. So, it's Thursday. For me, the weeks are going by super fast. I don't know if they are. And now it is Thursday and time for to accomplish some of the goals that you have set forward. Welcome, Felicia. Welcome. Hello, everyone. It is Thursday. Yes, Thriving Thursday. So today we're going to talk about dealing with a sudden loss. How do you deal with a sudden loss? What happens when a sudden loss comes about? And so I'm going to go ahead and get started because I want to be mindful of your time and my time as well, because it is Thursday. So everybody that knows me knows I am a football fan, and so football is coming on tonight, and I want to be out of here in time for football. Hey, hello everybody. Thanks for joining me. So dealing with a sudden death. And I came up with this topic last week. If you haven't noticed, well, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but for me, my topics usually come from something that happened that week or the week before, in between the two Thriving Thursdays. And so last week was always a hard time, and the holidays are a hard time for people because they're missing loved ones that they've had with them. And so it could be your first, second, whatever it is. It's always hard to deal with the holidays without having a certain loved one. And so last week we had the anniversary of my nephew. He was killed in a car accident his freshman year in college. So he was a track star growing up in high school. You know, he was a kid that played football and basketball. And once he got to high school, he decided that he wanted to stick with track. And so he was running track his senior year. He was in the 4x1 or 4x, wait, I think it was a 4x4. I think it was a 4x4 relay that they were in, that his school broke records and stuff like that his senior year. So he was super excited. Never really thought about wanting to really do track, or especially the 4x4. 4x4 was not his race. Most people want to do sprints. Hey, Tisha. Most people want to do sprints and, different things like that. And he was geared up and he practiced and was made in the beginning to do the 4x4 or 400. And so his relay team actually broke school records that year, where he went off to college, ran in his first collegiate track meet, and after that decided to run home with a teammate because he didn't want her to ride by herself. And so what happened, it was raining, it was dark, the car hit a puddle, spun, and hit a tree. And so it killed my nephew and, injured the other people inside. And so when I say that was the most devastating experience that I've had, it forever changed my life. Well, that wasn't the first loss that I had experienced. I had a boss that I had worked for 9.5 years, and suddenly he was sick for some time, and they were treating him for diabetes. And so he just got really sick, and he went to the doctors, and they did some scans, and they found out that he had pancreatic cancer, and that they gave him about, I want to say, 6-8 months to live. And so he passed away in 2 months. And the pancreatic cancer was in stage 4. So I saw this strong man that, became, I called him my work boss, because we know we spend a lot more waking hours at work than we do at home. And so after 9.5 years, just coming out of high school, this was like my work dad, and to see him to give up. So what's the difference between somebody that gets that type of news and they're like, they live past the time that the doctors give them, and the ones that live shorter? A lot of the times it's the mentality and the willpower that they're not going to let this beat them, or they give up. And so you could just see that he gave up. He got that news, he got discouraged, he had to go through the treatments, and he just gave up on life. And so that's one instance when you're dealing with a sudden loss. So I'm talking about two different deaths that happened in my life that really meant a lot to me, two of them. But a sudden loss isn't just a death or losing. My son is into football, so you have a lot of football players that their dream or their chances to play stop, and they give up. They don't know what to do. What happens when their dream comes to an end, or at least they thought that they came to an end. So you see football players with injuries, and you see some of their injuries are career ending, and some of their injuries, they can have the same injury and they come back and play. It's about mindset and willpower. And so when you're dealing with the sudden loss, so I talked about, a death of a boss and a loved one. I talked about my nephew. There's also loss of a job. We're coming up to the holidays, and there's government shutdown is one thing that's looming over, and you have different companies that have been on the news that are cutting back. Stores are closing that you are used to seeing. They're closing certain stores, and yeah, they're closing them, but that's also people's jobs, and those are things that people depend on to take care of their family. And so dreams are lost, jobs are lost, health is lost, family members are lost. So these are all kinds of things. A sudden loss is something that hits everybody. And so it's known to be that there's stages that you go through when you deal with when you're grieving. So you can go through denial. Oh, this didn't happen. The store's not really closing, or, whatever the case might be, that is a denial that you're having. It's there, but you're picturing it to be something else. Then you get upset. You're angry. Why was it me? Why did this happen to me? What is going on? Why couldn't it happen to anybody else? Then you're saying, well, what if I would have did this? What if I would have trained harder? What if I would have, worked harder, contributed more to my team? What if I was there for that person when they were sick and got them extra help? So you start playing the what if game, and then you go through a series of depression. And so you're, really sad, and really those 4 stages can all happen at the same time. You can be sad one day, questioning, angry, this didn't really happen, those things all at one time. And then you get to the point where you just accept what happens. So how do you go from those stages to accepting what happens? And so the key nugget that I'm going to give you today, it is investing in yourself, spending time with yourself, growing spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially as well, because a loss could be, something happened in your finances as well. So these are things that you have to do. You have to invest in yourself, reading books, getting mentors, doing things like that that will help put more into you, because when losses happen, it's draining. It's taking a lot out of you. And so you need encouragement. You need help. You need to go from one step to the next step. And so you do that by investing in yourself. You pour more into you. I say that it's very important to have me time. And these different instances that I've explained, that I've gone through, I've had to carve out time for me. That may be, not being able to talk to my friends, not being able to go out, not being able to do different things, because I needed that time for me to detox. And what did I do in that me time? I've gone, to take myself to dinner. I've gone to get massages to just, help relax me. I've, gone to talking to my mentors, receiving guidance from my mentors on how I can progress and how I can get over this hump. I've read books and read sermons, and I've started my day in positive thinking, in gratitude and thanksgiving, and I've ended the day in the same way. And so that helps me go throughout the day. So I'm starting my mind with positive things, and I'm ending before I go to sleep with positive things. And so this is the things that you do when you are getting to the acceptance point, because now you're removing the negative energy. You're removing the weight that you feel on your shoulder. You're removing the negative thoughts of what if and why me, and, I can't do this, or even the people that told you couldn't do it. You're never, play this again, or you're never have this type of job again, or you'll never be able to do this again. And you have the willpower in yourself to say, yes, I am going to do this. I'm going to get over this hump no matter what is said. You're never work in this field again. And you put in the effort. You go and you talk to somebody. You go and read up. What do I need to do to get back to the point and get further than the point that I was? What are those things that I need to do to get there? And so that comes with investing in yourself and knowing that losses happen, but the loss is not the final destination. The loss that, whatever the sudden loss that you weren't expecting to happen isn't the final thing. There is so much more there left for you to do, left for you to experience, for you to go to a higher level. I posted this week, it said disappointments are a way to create an appointment. So when you're disappointed with something, you take that and help you learn from it to get to the next appointment, the next thing that you're supposed to do. You invest in yourself. That's how you're learning from it. No loss is really a loss. It's either a win or a learn. And so you have to learn from it, and then you go to a win. If you never learn from whatever loss that happened, if you never dig deep within, I talked about the losses of my boss and of my nephew. If I never dig deep within and found me time, I probably wouldn't be here today talking to you, because this is really outside my comfort zone. But I use those things to fuel me to dig deep within, to pull things out that I didn't know that they were there. So the disappointments that you have, the losses that you have, they're not your final step. They're there to help. They come and they're to help you to learn, to go forward, to grow. Where can I use this to be more beneficial to me? And so that is all that I have for you that I wanted to talk to you about on Thriving Thursday, dealing with the sudden loss, because a lot of times when we are in depression, we're hurt because something happened that we weren't expecting, we kind of sit there. And it's okay to be in that point for a little while you're grieving, while you're dealing with these things. But there has to be some time that you use that to motivate you to do something else. You can't stay in that funk. You have to move forward and enjoy all the things that are there for you. So that is all. I have used up my time. Like I said, I want to be wise and cognitive of the time that I have with you. And so take those things, think about the things that have happened to you in your life, and what were some of the things that, what was the turning point that helped you to come out and accept what was going on and use it to fuel to move forward. So as we're getting ready to end this year, these are some of the things that you want to think about. Even this year, some of the things that's happened to you. And we'll talk more about this as we get to the last Thursday, because I had the topic for the last Thursday of 2018 a couple of weeks ago, and that topic is going to be about reflection. So as we get to that point, we have two more Thursdays coming up before 2018 is done. So we can start thinking even now before we get there about the reflection of what's happened this year. We've all haven't had good notes the whole year. We've had some losses. We've had some disappointments. We've had some things that have gone on in our lives. And so we want to reflect on those things. We want to learn from those things. So as we go into a new year, we don't have to deal with those same disappointments, but we start a new year fresh. So think about those things as they come up, as investing in yourself so you can deal with a lot of the things that life brings our way. I am out of here. This is it for Thriving Thursday. I've enjoyed you. I'm so happy that you came and joined me today. Hello. Make sure if you miss any of the video, it's already recorded. You can get it on my YouTube channel, on my Journey to Greatness Facebook. I'm on Periscope, Twitter, all of these things. You can go back and watch it, take some notes. If you missed anything, if you want to see it over again, please share with your friends, because you don't want to keep these nuggets to yourself. You want everybody that is around you to be able to grow just like you are growing. So with that, I am out of here with Thriving Thursdays. I will see you next week. Yes, next week will be our next Thriving Thursdays. I am out of here. See you later. Bye.